But not today, folks. We're gonna have Multiple Man at 20 power right there. Yo, what's good, everybody? Today we are talking about one of the most confusing, most chaotic Pool 2 decks in all of Marvel Snap, yet it is the most fun deck to play. And I like fun. That's right, today we are talking about move decks, and in my opinion, this is one of the most fun decks to play. If you get creative with it, you can really mess up your opponent's entire way of thinking. All you gotta do is kind of think a little bit outside the lines. So we got all the main move cards in here, and we got ways to power them up. And of course, we've got everybody's favorite control card, Storm. And let me explain the deck real quick. Of course, our 6-drop is Heimdall, and Heimdall is going to move everybody one location to the left. Our goal with moving everyone around is to power these cards up like Vulture. When he gets moved to a different location, he's getting +5 power. And the other main guy that you want to be moving around is Multiple Man. When Multiple Man gets moved around, he's going to add another copy to the old location. It's going to copy his entire power. He's not just going to be a 3 power card. We are gonna pump him up with cards like Hulkbuster. The goal is to drop Multiple Man on a spot and then drop Hulkbuster on the next turn, give him 7 power, and free up a space on the board, because we're gonna need to have free spaces in order to move all these cards around. Forge is also in the deck. He is also gonna power up Multiple Man. The goal is to drop Forge on turn 2, drop Multiple Man on turn 3, and then drop Hulkbuster on turn 4, get Multiple Man all the way up to 9 power, and then just move him about on turn 5 and 6, and have yourself a board full of Multiple Men. And the main cards that will be doing a lot of the moving besides just Heimdall, we have Doctor Strange. And when Doctor Strange is dropped, he's gonna move your highest power cards to this location. If you have a Multiple Man in location 1 that's worth 8 power, and then you have a Multiple Man in location 3 that's worth 8 power, and you drop Doctor Strange in the middle, he's actually going to absorb both of those Multiple Men. And of course, the other big time move card is Cloak. At whatever location that you drop her, she's going to allow you to move any cards on the next turn over to that location. So we're going to be moving Vulture, we're going to be moving Multiple Man, and we're going to be able to absolutely dominate. And of course, there's also Iron Fist, but a lot of people tend to use Iron Fist early on in the beginning of the game. Hold on to Iron Fist until a little bit later so we can push over one of those high powered cards. And of course, you got Nightcrawler. He's gonna help power up Kraven. You're gonna be moving cards around, jumping all over Kraven, and he's gonna be getting powered up too. And the final 2 cards are gonna be Storm. You can still slide your cards over, move them into that location, and continue to gain power on the flooded location. And the last card in the deck is America Chavez. If you've been here before, you know the deal. I love America Chavez. Because she's only drawn on turn 6, it allows you to basically have to draw from an 11 card deck instead of a 12 card deck. She really puts things in your advantage because you're more likely to draw that Multiple Man, that Cloak, that Vulture. Those are the main cards that you really want. And if all else fails and you don't get Heimdall at the end, or you weren't able to power your guys as much as you thought, well then America Chavez is going to come out there and she's going to drop 9 power right there on the board. Now let's take you into some gameplay and show you exactly what I do to make this deck go absolutely ballistic. So even though this Atlantis says if you only have 1 card here, it gets +5 power, we're not even going to be concerned about that. We are going to be moving cards every which way. We're going to definitely end up with more than 1 card on that board. So he iced out Kraven, which is really unfortunate because we were going to take Kraven and we were going to put him in the middle, and we got a location that will give +2 power when we move cards, and that is massive. We're gonna actually just end this turn and let it go. He did the same thing, which is kind of weird. We're gonna place Kraven right there in the middle and we're getting ready to go. We're hoping that we can pull Vulture or Multiple Man on the next turn. If we can drop Forge, then drop Multiple Man in Shuri's lab. For Multiple Man's going to be huge right away. Then we can maybe move him on the next turn, get him over to Kraven's location, and start powering cards. So he played Storm, which does not bode well for our hand. We're going to really have to focus on the first two locations. And we don't have any of our major move cards yet. We're going to go ahead and get very creative here. Our first goal is going to be move Nightcrawler to this middle location. We're going to give him a lot of power. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to play Iron Fist right here in Atlantis, and he's going to push Cloak over to the middle position, and in the meantime we're going to be able to move people to the flooded location after it's already flooded out. Watch this happen. This is why I love move decks. It is so fun. It is so unexpected. There we go. We got Kraven the plus power, and then we got Cloak over to the flooded location and punched right out, so we can just move everybody right back. Everybody's gaining power because of that middle location. We're putting Kraven in first because Kraven's gonna get that boost even when he moves, whenever the cards move next. We're gonna move Iron Fist over, then we're gonna move Nightcrawler over. We're gonna go ahead and Hulkbuster Cloak, and we're gonna Forge on for the next turn. So now we got a ton of cards out there, and we're just gonna be powering like crazy. Here we go. So Kraven moved. So we see what our opponent did. Kraven moved, he got plus power. Then Iron Fist moved, he got Kraven plus power. Nightcrawler got Kraven plus power, and we're winning that third location, and we didn't even have to play a card yet. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is not Heimdall. Okay, well, our opponent retreated anyway, but I just wanted to point out that because we had this third location locked up, if we Heimdall, everybody's getting moved over to the left, and then it's just utter chaos. A lot of people believe that they have to Heimdall right away because that's their 6-drop, and they have that. That's part of the reason that we have America Chavez in there. She's going to give us an extra 9 power to just help us become super strong. I was going to drop her in the middle location, and there's very little that he could do. The flooded location is already ours, and then the middle location is going to have an extra 16 power. It gave our Nightcrawler a +1 cost, so we can't play that on this turn. We're just going to end it real quick, and we're going to start by dropping Multiple Man, and we're going to drop him on Shuri's lab for sure. This is perfect spot for him. Dropping Multiple Man. There he goes. He got double the power. They took somebody from us. Hopefully it wasn't Doctor Strange or Cloak or anything like that, but oh, there's Doctor Strange, so we're covered on that. Next up, we're gonna Hulkbuster Multiple Man, and then we are gonna start moving him around. There goes Multiple Man, Hulkbustered, and he's gonna double his power as a result of that. And that's going to be 20 power right there on that card. She just stormed, which is not the end of the world for us, because what we're going to do is we're just going to drop Doctor Strange right here. We're going to go ahead, drop Doctor Strange right there, and we are going to also drop Iron Fist. Iron Fist is going to move Vulture on the next turn. And that usually locks up a Storm location, but not today, folks. We're gonna have Multiple Man at 20 power right there, and we are going to go ahead and just snap this off right now. And he retreated. It literally only took one snap for him to retreat. Maybe he shouldn't have snapped, I guess. This plan would have been a lot of fun to see play out. So that is the Pool 2 move deck, and I think it's the best one out there. It's gonna take some time to get used to the math and the absolute chaos of the deck, but once you understand all the moving pieces and how exactly it works, you're gonna realize that this deck is incredibly fun. Unfortunately, we only got part of the second game, but you could see the deck gets out of control right away, and a lot of times that's gonna lead to your opponents quitting. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and go check out some of my other Marvel Snap guides. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.